picking up. Now, just tell me this. As of right now, you've been watching the videos. Is there anything that you see that has been a roadblock or a barrier or anything holding you back?
Unfortunately for me, most of my barrier is time.
Time, okay.
Which is one of the things that I'm trying to work on getting. But I like my job, so it really doesn't. But now that I'm going on a DEI crew, it's going to be a lot harder for me to work on the time aspect.
Okay.
But then there's also the research and the other stuff that goes along with it. So.
All right. Okay, so time is a big factor.
Yeah.
Tell me this. What is also the goal, though? Do you have like a yearly goal?
Well,
goal?
I think my first goal right now is by the end of the year, I'd like to actually, buy and sell my first property.
Okay.
I think that, it's very doable, and I think once I get that first property, then everything else will kind of like, I want to say fall into place, but I know it'd be still difficult travel, but it's going to be, it'd be like, oh, I got that. How you learn how to swim by first jumping into the water.
Yeah, and almost drowning, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm alive.
Yeah. Like, oh, that worked. Good.
So essentially, you want that near-death experience?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay.
Without the real near-death part.
Okay, so cool. So we know what the constraint is. We know what the goal is, and then where are we right now in the journey? So
information.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't feel like I have enough information to
go out there.
To go out there, and it's like I don't know. It's like I'm the type of person that if I'm shown what to do, I can do it. But to try and figure it out on my own, even by listening to you or listening to somebody else, it's like my brain doesn't work on the okay, take everything in what and then actually execute it. It's kind of like it would be a lot easier if I could find that one person that I could like
go with.
Kind of like drag on the coat string and actually be like the little kid, like. But I actually have talked to one person, and I'm trying to finish reading this book. Here's Never Split the Difference by Chris Voss.
Okay.
Before I actually really talked to him about taking that step with him. But now it's with starting a DI crew, it's going to be kind of, they got training on Monday mornings and Fridays until season actually starts, and then I don't know what my time's going to be until I get the schedule. So.
Okay. So let me tell you this. So you mentioned that right now the phase that you're in right now is information, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how much information that we collect if we don't act. Okay? And sometimes what can happen is if we get too much information, we can almost feel paralyzed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, someone could think, man, it's, hey, I want to go to the park today, but there's so much risk for me walking out my door. I could die and walk out the door, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's so much risk for me crossing the street, that kind of stuff. And so you don't want to be in that. You do not want to be in the position to where you have so much information or overload that you're afraid to actually move on something. Okay. So we know that one constraint is time. Another constraint could also just be fear of the unknown, right? So I'll put that.
That's a big one for me too.
Okay.
Fear of not being able to, find a property. Fear of not being able to get the money to get the property. Fear.
Okay.
Fear of rejection.
Fear of rejection. All right, that's a
which
big
all
one.
encompasses the unknown.
The unknown, yeah. Now, check this out. Here's something that's interesting. There's really only one way to overcome fear. You know what that is?
By doing it.
That's it. Okay? So, because we could be on a plane And that plane, we both have parachutes on. We're like, yeah, we want to skydive, right? And we'll be on that plane, and we're both gonna have that gut wrenching feeling of just like, oh my gosh, we're up super high. But the only way to overcome it is for someone to push us off that ledge, and then we're free falling.
Right.
Same thing here. The only way to overcome that fear is to actually do it. What you'll find out in your motion of doing it, or in our example of falling off the plane, is that it gets easier the more you do it. So here's what we got to do. We have to come up with a actual plan, and what I'll do is we'll come up with a plan. I know you have a time constraint as far as your schedule, but we're gonna have to actually follow these steps, and I'm going to basically be the person kicking you off the plane. All right.
Okay.
So you may not like me. Okay.
Mama Birdie.
Huh?
I said, okay, Mama Birdie.
So I'll be the one kicking you. But the cool thing is, I'll also let you know that that all these things are doable. So I'll do it. I'll do it once, and then at that point, I'm expecting you to go ahead and see how comfortable it is. All right. So with that being said, we know your goal. Your goal is to buy and sell at least one property for the year.
Right.
All right. And so, are you looking to purchase a house? Are you looking to wholesale a house? Are you looking to, how do you want to buy the house?
Well, because of financial constraints, I think it for me would be better off to like wholesale.
Okay, you want to wholesale it. Okay.
That way I can get money up to where I can actually altogether. But I want to start with wholesaling, and I know Brett would sit there and say that it sounds kind of like people think that wholesaling is just like the step forward and you work on the rehab and all that other stuff. But no, I want to actually diversify. I want to actually diversify all that to where I have me going out and do the wholesale, or build up the wholesale, and then build up the fix and flip, and then I'd like to get rental properties, but like I said, that part I can actually deal with later, but and then I'd like to do some passive income.
Okay.
So I don't have to if I'm not actively out there doing that, then I'm making money to do things.
All right. Let me do something real quick. Put this on the screen.
Which is part of the reason why I'm going to the notes tonight.
Okay. Cool. I know this looks silly, right? But I'm doing this because I forgot we're recording.
Your picture popped up down at the bottom.
Oh yeah, that's the thing that it uses for recording. Okay, so we're gonna make just a few notes, as you can see. So you said you want to start with wholesaling, right?
Yes.
Okay. The goal is one property, and that would be for buy and sell. Okay.
Right.
Cool. All right. So we got that point. Now, what do you think when it comes to wholesaling? What do you think is more important? Do you think having the seller is more important, or do you think having the buyer is more important?
I'm going to answer the simple answer: yes.
Okay.
Because, if you don't have a buyer, then you really don't need this. If you don't have a seller, you don't really need a buyer because you have nothing to sell. But if you don't have if you don't have a way to get funding for it, then it doesn't really matter on each side. But I think, yeah. So I think the seller would probably be more important for the beginning of it, but then you have to also have the buyer.
Okay. So, all right, good. So they're equally important, all right. So there's really no wrong answer. What some people do is they will purposely research to find out who's buying in what area and like who's buying the most, and then they will make contact with that individual, and they will say, hey, properties are you, and they'll find that person's criteria, and then they'll only look for houses that meet or that match that criteria because they think, hey, if I get a house that matches this criteria, I know for a fact that ABC Company or Joe Blow and Associates is going to buy this house. Okay,
Right.
That's one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is someone just looks for a house and they look for the cheapest thing possible, and they hope that it's such a good deal that anyone will want to buy it.
Right.
Okay, so it's no right or wrong answer. What I'm thinking, just from us having this conversation, what I'm thinking that you probably need the most though is you need to go ahead and get pushed out of that fear zone. Okay, and the best way to get pushed out of that fear zone is to do what our parents told us never to do, which is to talk to random strangers. Okay, and the best way to talk to random strangers, as far as the wholesaling is concerned, is with sellers. Okay. The reason I say that is because the conversation with the buyer is going to be very, very cut and dry and very, very straightforward. There's not going to be a lot of anxiety there. It's really just going to be, hey, my name's Will. I'm looking I'm wholesaling. What kind of properties are you looking to purchase? Steve, sorry, I keep doing that. Okay, and I keep doing that, don't I? All right. So my name's Steve, and I'm looking to buy a property. What kind of property are you guys looking to sell? Property, excuse me. What kind of property are you guys looking to buy? And they'll tell you. It'll be very, very cut dry. The seller component is going to be a lot more emotional. Okay,
Right.
like it is.
Right.
And for obvious reasons, maybe someone grew up in that house, maybe their mother passed on to it, that kind of stuff. Okay. So we got that. All right. So how are we going to find sellers? Advertise. Okay, cool. We can advertise. All right. Do you have a budget for advertising?
No.
No? Okay.
So I'd say
zero budget.
like Facebook or
Facebook. Okay.
LinkedIn or
LinkedIn. What's that? Craigslist?
Yeah, thank you.
Craigslist. Okay.
That was coming up on my head. Like, oh.
That's cool. Now, all right. So if for example we have no budget, okay, the next thing you can do is they call it drive for dollars. Okay, I don't want you to think that someone's paying you $1 to drive.
Right.
But essentially, what you're doing is you're driving around in areas that you're comfortable in, and you are looking for houses that are, houses that need TLC. All right.
Okay.
So that could be, high grass. It's very common. What else? Or roofs and gutters. Good. Or shutters. Yes, too. What else could it be?
Siding and
Sidings.
repairs.
Okay. And just I'll just put any repairs in. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. When you go and look for these houses, I'm going to take this right here. When you go and look for these houses, the only thing that I need you to do is I need you to write down the address.
Okay.
And like this is super important, okay? As this is so important, and because I want you to get out the fear zone, very because that's most important. That writing down these addresses is like very, very important. It's so important that I'm thinking about that we should leave the office right now and actually go and write down like 10 addresses. Okay, seriously.
Okay.
Okay, are you cool with that?
That's fine with me.
All right. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna leave here. We're gonna go, and we can go the next block over. Well, The houses in this area probably not, but we can go further down on Keystone, okay? Because we want to find where we know the fact that we're gonna find like a house that is like ran down. You know what I mean?
Right.
So either like further on Kessler, further on Keystone, but probably not in this area per se. Maybe like a few blocks over. So let's go do that right now.
Okay. So we're gonna take up any of your rest of time that you get.
No, I have the schedule. I'm just happy that you said okay. All
I
right,
got
so
a schedule, but we'll just have to see if he's okay with it.
yeah, exactly. All right.